Alright, hey guys. So today is Saturday, and for today's shave, we will be doing a head shave. And I have about a day's worth of growth. I have about a week's worth of facial growth. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll shave the face on a video in a couple days. For today's razor, we're going to be using the Blackbird, and this is in the titanium. It has a feather blade in it. I've been trying to use more of my feather blades just because I have a bunch. They're pretty sharp, not my favorite blade, just because I feel like I only get like 2 or 3 uses out of them. Compared to like my other ones, I feel like I get a couple more uses, and I feel like they're a bit smoother and cheaper. I've been on a kick lately for menthol soaps, so I've been using Terror a lot the last couple days just because it's been warming up here in SoCal, and I've been doing a lot of work on my RV outside. Today I finished up cleaning the outside of it. I still have to do one side. I use like it's called 303 Aerospace. It's like a UV protectant spray. And I like to spray that on the metal just to kind of protect it, give it some extra shine. So yeah, Terror's been really good lately for me. This is from Barrister Man. They don't make it anymore. I don't know if this is something they're going to bring back this year or next year. I think their newest mentholated soap is now called Arctic. I don't have that. I don't have the matching splash either, but I do have Noble Otter Northern Elixir, which is, to me, the same genre, right? It's like a mentholated soap that's supposed to be cold. They're very similar in sense to me. Maybe to somebody else they're not. They just smell like menthol to me. Um, I get a little bit more of like this. It's supposed to be like a frigid sea, ice, like you're lost at sea. Like I picture like an old 1800s boat back in the day. It's cold. They're exploring like the Arctic or something like that. And I do kind of get that remnants of almost like a sea aquatic type smell from this. With Northern Elixir, kind of same concept. Uh, I don't get as much of the aquatic. I get more of a almost like a mint smell to it. But again, fairly similar, not the same though. I don't know which I would prefer. I kind of like the Terror, I think, a little bit more, just because the aquatic note to it. But this is not bad at all. And I am probably going to be working on killing this one next, because there's less of the Terror than there is of the Northern Elixir. But with the Terror, I do have the matching Balm. I know some people are against Balms in the summer or spring because it's hot. I still like to use Balms from time to time because, when I shave, my skin gets a little drier on those areas. So I still like to use a lotion. And since I have it, might as well use it. For the brush today, I have it soaking in just some water. And there is that beautiful knot. It's going to be Declaration Grooming B11 is the batch. The pour is Poison Pond, which is orange, like a neon green and black. Really cool pour. Really, really like this batch. It's funny, the more I've been using Declaration Grooming brushes from my personal collection, which I have B5, I have B6, I have B8, B9, B9A+, I have B11, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And the more I use them, in a lot of ways, sometimes I have trouble like saying which is my, top 5, say. Like, my number 1 is for sure, adding a little water, B14 still. There's some legendary ones like B5, B6. I own one of both. Neither or are a full Declaration Grooming brush, so it's another handle with a B5 knot and a B6 knot. And I actually have been trying to figure out, do I prefer B5, like say, over a B11? I know I prefer B15, 16, and 14, I think, over my B5 and B6, which I know some people might say that's crazy, but that's just my preference. If you hear something in the background noise, it's my washer cleaning the rags I use to clean the outside of the RV. And we're going to try with that, see how that gets us for the first round. Wet it some more. Spread it around a little bit. And yeah, I can already tell I'm going to need more. So yeah, I've been kind of interested. Because I gotta say, like, my B8 and my B9A, they're really freaking nice. Like, compared to my B5 and B6, they're like right there, right on par. And I think I like my handles on my B8 and my B9A more too. And B11, I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's a really good knob. So I've been just trying to hone in on that and find that kind of interesting about the hobby. Because, you know, not too long ago, I was seeing people selling B5s for like $500-600. Some people were even asking like $1,000 for more rare pours like the gold member declaration grooming pour. But something like a B9A or a B11 is like a fraction of the cost. Like, I've seen B9As go for like $200. I've seen, you know, some B11s are like 300 depending on the pour, but I've seen a lot of them go for like 250, 260. So for like half the cost of what a lot of people are asking for B5 or B6, you can get these really great B11s with some really great looking pours. And I've been just interested, you know, is that extra cost and struggle of finding the right pour in B5, B6, especially like somebody new to declaration grooming and wanting to try one of them. You know, should they instead just go for something like a B9A, B11 that's a little easier to get? There's some really cool pours, and it's half the cost, if not a little less sometimes. There's more availability of them, and then that way, like, if you don't like it, you didn't spend a bunch of money that you might not be able to get back. Especially now, like, a lot of people aren't spending as much money on the shaving gear that I'm seeing, the high-end stuff. I think they're still spending just as much money on the lower-end stuff. But now I'm starting to see these prices go down on certain brushes. So it's not like before where people would just randomly buy stuff knowing that, oh, well, I can resell it for basically what I bought it for. So I think that's giving pause to a lot of people buying stuff now. Because, you know, if you spend $500 on a brush and you don't like it, and you try to resell it, and you can only get, say, $300 now, which I'm not saying you can, but, or you can't get more, you know, you just lost $200 to try a brush out. And I've been really happy with all of my brush purchases. I have sold a couple, and it's not that I didn't like them per se, it's just that I've been telling myself that I should downsize my brush collection in a way. Which is funny because I just added another brush to my collection yesterday, being a Declaration Grooming B14 in the Arctic Sun pour, which is a great pour. It looks way better than I was expecting in person. But it's kind of weird. My wife was talking to me about it, you know, because I'm pretty minimalistic. You know, live in an RV, and I've never. I used to be more of a consumer with, as far as goods go, like, you know, buying like all kinds of clothes and, you know, just stuff in general. And then I stopped even before I lived in the RV, and I started living more minimalistic, and I enjoy it. You know, what I enjoy now is less stuff but higher quality. And I'm not saying that, you know, lower end gear isn't high quality. What I'm saying is that I've learned through my lifestyle personally, you know, say for watches, instead of having 6 different watches, I'd rather have 1 or 2 really nice watches that are, you know, super high end. They're gonna last forever. I really like how they look. They're super quality. You know, in the watch game, I would compare that to, I would rather have, say, if I was into watches, 1 really nice Rolex compared to, say, 6 different $300 watches. And I'm kind of getting the same way with the brushes. I went on a crazy streak where, well, we're going to go right to the second pass. So the first pass went good. So, you know, I went kind of crazy because I wanted to try all of these knots out, and that's why I got all these brushes. And now that I've tried them all, now I kind of want to start paring down slowly, and that's what I've been doing. Figuring out what are my favorites and keep those. And part of that that's been helping me is segregating what I use. So for the month of July and August, all I've used is Declaration Grooming brushes for the most part. I think there was maybe 2 days that I used something else. But for the most part, I've been just using Declaration Grooming brushes. And for that first half of August, I used my B13 to my B16s. And those are all I used. And now the second half of August to the end of August, you know, August 31st, I'm using my B5 to my B11s. And, you know, so I'm going through those, and what that helps me do is it kind of makes me realize, okay, hey, you know, do I like the B11? Okay, I like it, but do I like it enough to keep? And then if I do like it enough to keep, if I have more than one, do I want to keep more than one, or do I want to only keep that one pour? You know, do I maybe not like the other pour as much? And then is it worth getting rid of? And so far it's helped me get rid of, I've gotten rid of probably 3 brushes recently, maybe 4. So it's definitely helped me a lot. And I'm already thinking about maybe selling my B5 and my B6. And I like them. They're nice knots, and the handles, even though they're not Declaration Grooming handles, they're really unique. One's a dogwood, and one's another person by the name of Jesse Chapman. They did the pour, and Brett over at Monzingo that closed shop, he turned it. So, you know, that's kind of unique. And the other one's a dogwood handle, which is still nice. But like so far, I think I like my B9A, my B9A pluses, and my B8 just as much as I like the B5 and B6. So I'm kind of like, oh, do I still want to keep the B5, B6? And, the last like 3 days or 4 days, I have 3 different B11s. So I've been using these over my last few shaves. And all 3 are great knots. All very consistent. And it's the same thing. I'm like, man, I like these probably as much as my B5 and my B6s. So I might have to do a side by side just to see. And I don't need to sell any of them. I have room right now because I keep them all in a drawer. But kind of getting back to the beginning of it, my wife was asking me basically, like, why do I have so much shaving stuff as a minimalist, but like I don't have that issue with anything else? So it kind of got me thinking, like, yeah, my original intention was never to stack up, 100 brushes, 20 different razors, and 200 different soaps. It was to try a bunch of things and then only keep what gives me the best value. What I think is the most luxurious and best feeling knot, what handles I think are the coolest looking with those knots, what razors work the best for me, and even with the software, what software do I like the most, and what ones do I want to either give them away for free to somebody or sell them, and then going forward, only keep buying those brands that I found that work for me the best. So now I'm at that stage where I'm like, okay, it's time to start down pairing. And I have found it being a little difficult, to be honest. Because some things, like I said, like, it's just hard because, I might still like a brush, but I like it a little less than another. And then, how many do I really need? Because so far, out of all my Declaration grooming brushes, I only have 3 that I'm thinking about selling. And that's my B5, B6, and I'm considering selling one of the B11s. And the only reason is on that is because I like the 11, but it's not my favorite, so I'm not sure if I really need 3 of them. Man, we're going right through this really quick, actually, compared to what I usually do. And I definitely feel the cooling effect right now. It feels good on the skin. Round 3. Round 3 is kind of against slash kind of across. It's kind of like a hybrid one for me on the back of the head. Because I think I have right now like 50 to 55 brushes, and that's just too much. I need to count to see what I have. But, I moved like a week ago in the RV, so I decided to count my software, and I'm at 105 soaps right now. And I have one more on the way. I bought a used puck of SV soap, so I have 106. And I will say that with that 106, I have probably 5 or 6 tubs that I've put to the side that I'm not sure if I want to try to sell yet or give away. And I've been just kind of putting it all in a box. So that way I can try to give it all away at once or sell it all at once. But like soaps, I really would like to get down quite a bit more. And it's crazy because I was trying to figure out, are there any other soaps that I would like to sell or, that I like, but I'm maybe not in love with? And most of them that I have, I really do like. And a couple of them are fairly similar. Like, I might have like 3 different ones that are aquatics, or 2 or 3 ones that are foragés, or 2 or 3 ones that are citrus, but they're all different enough that I'm like, oh, okay, like this is hard to decide which to get rid of or which to keep. But the end goal is to downsize it again to where I'm getting the most bang out of my dollar and value for time, right? Like, if I can get my soaps down to where like it's only ones that I'm in love with, would be freaking great. But it's hard to say what I'm in love with because I like them all. And there was the 3rd pass. That was nice. Right now I'm just splashing some cool water on my head, which feels great. Little microfiber rag, kind of dry it all off. Oh man. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that has that trouble in the hobby, and other hobbies just like this. It's a slow, slow journey, but yeah, I mean, I kind of envy those people that say only have like 10 or 20 or 30 different soaps. Oh wow. Well, that sucks. My little restrictor started breaking. Huh, that's random. Oh well. So what I like to do is I let that dry for a little bit, and then I put the balm on. So we're going to do a quick recap as I let this dry, and then we're going to put the balm on. Today we used Blackbird in the titanium. Love this razor. It is blade forward. It is what I would consider aggressive. It is my second favorite DE. My first favorite is my WR2, my Wolfman, at a 1.55 gap. And that is a bit more efficient than the Blackbird, but smoother. This is still smooth to me, but yeah, it's pretty aggressive. We used B&M Terror today. Great cooling soap, works great for the heat like today. We just splashed on some Noble Otter Northern Elixir. And now we're going to put on the matching B&M Terror Balm. And you can tell this is a pretty old Terror too, just because of the balm being in this little plastic thing. So I just use a little bit. Oh yeah. That's nice. Yeah, I'm not sure. If I had to pick one, which one I'd pick. Like I said, there's less Terror, and you can't buy it anymore. So I'm going to use a little bit more on my face. So I'm not sure. I should probably use Northern Elixir over the next day or two and see which one I like more. Do I want to keep both? Like this. Maybe drop one of them and try to sell it or piff it. But yeah, my Northern Elixir is full, and you can see this one. You can almost see that ring of death right there. So if I keep using this, I have probably another 2 weeks, and it's going to be dead. appreciate you guys joining me. If you guys have any insight on, like, how do you choose if you're downsizing your soaps, which ones? I know on some of mine were easy. Like I said, I have 5 or 6 that I put to the side already. So I'm at probably 100 soaps right now, minus that 5 or 6 that I have in a box. And I don't know. For the life of me, I can't figure out like which ones from there to get rid of. Um, just because I enjoy using every single one of them that's in there. Um, but I know I should probably eventually try to get it down. I don't know what my next goal should be. 70, maybe 80. That's like 30 more soaps I gotta get rid of. That's quite a bit. And I could use them and kill them. Um, but I feel like that's kind of like the slow process, and that would take a long time, probably like over 2 years. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. How you guys kind of choose and pick on your brushes, razors, software, on when you're downsizing, like how do I choose to get rid of it? Do you have like a scale of like, hey, it has to meet this quality, this quality, this quality? Maybe something that could help me out. But I appreciate you guys coming along for the shave. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.